Am I the astronaut for winning a couple of million on the lottery and giving half to my ex before I met my current girlfriend? So I'm 35 male and was with my ex from school until 5 years ago. We have a child together too that we both co-parent really well. We never fall out with each other, but the love and attraction has all gone. She cheated on me, but there's more to the story than that, and it's not all on her. 2 years ago, I happened to win around $4 million on the lottery. My first thought was my child. I wanted him to grow up with an equal life like he has mine, and the less stress his parents have, the less stress he has. I decided to split the win with my ex. We have both been sensible with the money. I quit my job as a mechanic, took my sports and football coaching badges, and with a friend, we started a business going around primary schools, doing classes in all sorts of sports and fitness, and also helping out local sports clubs and teams with coaching and methods, etc. It will never make us rich, but we make around 1.5 times the national average wage. I bought a $300K house and a $40K car, and that's about it. My ex opened up a beauty salon that's doing really well and also bought herself a house. I met my current girlfriend on a night around 6 months ago. Things have been going well. She knows I won the lottery, and that's why I've got a nicer house and car than my income will normally provide, and why I like to go away on a couple of nice holidays per year. She's never asked for anything from me materially and kept insisting on covering half of the dates despite my offering to pay every time. We are getting more serious, but nowhere near moving in or anything like that, or her meeting my son yet. It all came to a head last week when the subject of my ex came up and my girlfriend said how nice her beauty salon was. We were with a couple of my friends and one of them said, "It should be nice, Sam paid for it." She asked what he was talking about, and before I could answer, my friend said he gave her 2 million quid. My girlfriend was quiet for the rest of the night, and then when we got back to mine, she exploded and said I was still in love with her and that's why I gave her the money. That it wasn't normal, that no wonder a lottery winner only lives in a house like this and drives a shit car when I gave half away. Bitch. Hello. That I was a gullible simp, how embarrassed she is by me, how we could be set for life with that money and never work again, etc., etc. It went on for so long, I told her to leave as I'm going to bed and not listening to this anymore. I haven't seen her since, and she hasn't answered my calls or replied to my messages apart from the odd insult until today when she said the only way she could stay with me is to ask my ex for whatever money she has left to be returned to me so she can save face. So who can save face? The girlfriend? I told her no, and I'm done with her. She again accused me of trying to buy back my ex, and I blocked her. Is this going to be a problem I have with other women going forward? Am I the astronaut for this? Top comments and OP's response before we get into a chat here. Comment, you dodged a bullet, mate. If she's reacting like this over money that wasn't even hers and was given away before she met you, imagine how controlling she'd be if you actually shared finances. Not the asshole. OP says, I agree, but it's surprising as she never asked for anything before. Even when her car broke down and I fixed it, she tried to offer me money for it. Comment, she was playing the long game, brother. That's what I thought. That's why she erupted in anger, because she realized she made a bad bet that wasn't going to pay off like she was plotting. OP said, that's what my friend said. He said she was going to act like this until she had her feet under the table. I would agree with that. Tater Rooney?
150%. She knew about the lottery winnings before she met this guy.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, and it was a game. She was trying to present herself to not care about the money. I'm going to pretend to not care about the money and be independent until we're married, and then it's all mine. But getting this pissed off because his ex has that ex, also mother of his child.
Right.
That's an important part that I wish OP would have jumped out and been like, whoa.
Right.
Like, we co-parent. I did that
for my son.
But
also to have equal, I mean, what a commendable act, I think. But also, dude, run. I'm so glad you blocked her because this woman is crazy. Like, to me, this is crazy behavior. This is f***ed up. I don't want to work. I just want to live off the back of your lottery winnings. Like, this is f***ed up behavior. But, I mean, what he did.
She wants to ask for it back.
Yeah, give me the money back. I'll take 50% of what your salon is making.
The whole save face thing, I still don't understand, though. Who's she talking about saving face? Herself or the mom?
Herself, because she's saying she called him a simp and saying that he gave it to his ex because he wanted her back. And the only way that she would stay with him is if the ex gave whatever money she had left back so that she could save face because... And I'm like, no one, it's 6 months. You've been in a relationship for 6 months. I don't think you're wielding the power that you think you're wielding. No, I hope he runs and I hope he never talks to this person again because The one thing that jumped out at me is like, would you ever want this person around your child? Because you said they hadn't met yet. But no, I would never want my child around somebody who acted like this.
No.
And somebody who called me those names, somebody who turned nasty so quick over money. I wouldn't want that person around my child. I would get the out.
Agreed. Think about this. Okay, if she targeted him because she knew he was a lottery winner, right? She expected him to have the full amount. So she's playing him either to try to trap him into a relationship, marry him without a prenup, get a divorce, and then take half, whatever, right? But this is embarrassing to her because she has probably broadcast these plans to at least her inner circle. Somebody knows about this. She's going to be embarrassed to someone about this. She's about to be really embarrassed because she's leaving with nothing. Oh, sorry. Not all contestants leave full-handed. Some do leave empty-handed. And she done screwed herself out of everything right there. But I'm glad that she did because he did. Am I the astronaut for not planning anything for Father's Day after my husband ruined my first Mother's Day? I am 98.7% sure that I am not the asshole here, but if I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit it and learn from my mistakes. Our little boy will be 1 later this summer, so this was the first Mother's Day and Father's Day for both me and my husband. My husband asked what I wanted for Mother's Day. I didn't want or need anything big or expensive. What I asked for is for husband to get up with the little guy and get him fed while I pumped and chilled. Breakfast in bed, just toast, scrambled eggs, and coffee. For us to take the little guy to the zoo for the first time. This was the main thing I was looking forward to. Going to my favorite taco place for dinner. Thoughts on that list? Just the list alone.
I feel like she just wants a day that's about their family.
Yeah.
That's what I get. I don't get like this is too much. You would have no problem if this was the list that I asked for.
Not at all. Between morning and afternoon naps, we have about 4 hours of awake time. The zoo is about 30 minutes away, so I had figured if we left as soon as he got up from his nap and ate, we'd have a couple of hours at the zoo, and worst case, he could sleep in the car on the way home. We took my mom and my mother-in-law out to brunch the prior weekend to celebrate them, his mom on a Saturday and my mom on a Sunday. I also got them each a thoughtful little present and flowers to celebrate their first Mother's Day as grandparents. I arranged everything and I told my mom and mother-in-law that we'd be celebrating on the actual day with just our little family, and sent them a group chat which included husband, my dad, and father-in-law, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. My mother-in-law is very pushy and overbearing, so I didn't want there to be any surprises or confusion. The Saturday before Mother's Day, father-in-law sent my husband a text with a picture of all the mulch he just had delivered and said something like, "Gonna be a busy weekend," or something like that. Apparently, he had 300 bags of mulch. They have a big yard with lots of flower beds. That night, my mother-in-law called my husband and asked him to come over first thing in the morning to help his dad move the bags of mulch to where they were going to be used. She said since we weren't going to the zoo until after the little guy's nap, that husband could go over and help for a couple of hours and then come pick us up and go to the zoo. I was obviously not happy, but she guilted him and said father-in-law was going to end up hurting himself if he moved all that by himself, and that it's not a big deal and should only take an hour or two. I told him his mom was doing this to try to get us to skip our plans and spend the day with them, but he kept saying it's not a big deal. Oof. That's not the thing to say. I think most people know what happened. Husband went over first thing, which means no breakfast in bed, and I had to get up and feed the little guy. I was kind of pissed, but whatever. I spent time with the little guy. When he went down for his morning nap, I texted my husband to let him know he should start wrapping things up. Then when the little guy woke up 2 hours later, I called my husband to tell him I'd be ready to go as soon as I finished feeding the little guy. He told me it was taking longer than expected, but that he would hurry. Like an hour and a half later, my husband called and said they weren't done, but he was getting ready to come home. It's a 15 to 20 minute drive from mother-in-law and father-in-law's house. At that point, we had missed the window to make it to the zoo, so I told him to just stay there and finish and not worry about Mother's Day since he hadn't done a single thing I asked for. I don't think there was any doubt in his mind how pissed I was. A little later, his mom called and said since we decided not to go to the zoo, that me and the little guy should go hang out with her while the boys finished with the mulch.
Just like she thought. That's like exactly what she said was going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, she called it. She clocked that in the very beginning. I admit that I was pretty pissy, and I told her I had no interest in spending time with the people who decided to ruin my first Mother's Day. I ended up staying home and ordering a pizza and binging Netflix. When husband got home, he was all apologetic and asked how he could make it up. I was still pissed and told him he could make it up by not ruining my first Mother's Day. I also told him he should plan on spending Father's Day with his mom and dad because me and the little guy were going to go celebrate Father's Day with my mom and dad. Since Mother's Day, mother-in-law has been texting and calling, but I've been keeping conversations short and just giving her very bland, generic responses. My husband has been apologizing and asking what he can do, but honestly, I don't want to bother. I know it's just a day and we can celebrate anytime like we did with my mom and mother-in-law, but it was my first ever Mother's Day. And it's not like I asked for anything expensive or difficult. The only thing is, he's incapable of setting boundaries with his mom, and she's incapable of considering anyone's feelings but her own. This past Saturday, he asked if I was still going to my parents', then said he'd like to go with us. I told him he could do whatever he wanted, but since I hadn't done anything for his dad, he might want to go see him or something. We did both end up going to my parents and spending the day with them. It was actually a nice day. My dad insisted on grilling because of course he did, but the weather ended up being nice and we spent a lot of time hanging out on their deck playing with the little guy. I'm not sure what, if anything, my husband did for his dad. I know he was getting a lot of texts during the day, I assume from his mom. She did send a snippy text saying it was hurtful to spend the day with my family at the expense of husbands, but I told her she got to spend Mother's Day with her baby boy, so it's only fair that I spend Father's Day with my family. I know my husband was hurt that we didn't acknowledge him for Father's Day, but I told him while we were driving to my parents' house that I'm just matching his energy. I admit that I haven't done anything to de-escalate the drama, but I'm still just so hurt that he continues to prioritize his mom's feelings over our little family. This isn't the first time his mom has done crap like this, and I'm just so tired of it. She always oversteps and insists on doing what she wants. I'm doing better at keeping her at arm's length and holding my own boundaries, but my husband is absolutely incapable of it. There's the problem. Top comment here, your husband has clearly decided having a pissed off wife is preferable to having a pissed off mother. The very first time he knew his dad had bought 300 bags of mulch, holy F, does he own Rhode Island or something? Your husband should have said, wish I could help you, but we have plans for Mother's Day. When his mom said it would only take an hour or two, he should have responded, our plans are all day. The mulch could have waited.
I have no tolerance for not protecting your family. And I mean, you should have protected it from your own mother, because she did what she did on purpose. She knew about the plans. You already celebrated Mother's Day with her in advance so that your wife could have these plans with your family. And you let yourself get played, and you played right into it, and you never prioritized your family. It's not even like just your wife, just the fact that she asked for family time with you specifically, and you just threw it all away to set out mulch that could have happened the next weekend.
No,
and if he wasn't willing to wait, then that's on him.
He threw it away to make his mother happy. And I think that's what we need to address here. Someone needs to say to this dude, listen. You have failed as a husband. You have failed as a father. You have to examine the control that your mother has on you, because that control is making you fail at becoming, or at being a husband and a father. If what she is doing to you is making you fail at those things, do you think it's a positive or a negative impact on your life? Is it an abuse of control? Yeah, it is. So end it or lessen it. Create a fucking boundary. She is controlling you because she can. She is proving it over and over and over again. And for some reason, you're not getting the message. And I get it. It's because your entire fucking life has been like this. You're being played over and over and over again. You're her puppet. You started a new family, though. That's the moment you have to cut the strings. You don't get to be the puppet anymore. You have to lead this family, and you cannot lead this family if you are still the puppet in another. Be the husband you want to be. Be the father you want to be. And you cannot do it while she is controlling you, so make that stop. Got it? Good.
That's my man.
Also, I
am
thought,
so proud. I am so proud. Like, I was just like, yes, that's my man. That's what I like. This is the standard that I will hold my future son-in-laws to for our daughters, because I know I will never overstep. I will never be this mother-in-law, because I don't want this for our children. I want them to have lives. Like, as much as it hurts to watch your babies grow up, it would hurt so much more to know that I was the reason that a marriage didn't work, or the reason they have issues with their kids. I would never want to overstep, because I would never want to be the reason for the pain in their lives. And this mom, the mother-in-laws that act like this do not care. They only prioritize themselves. They only prioritize how they feel. And until you say no more, and cut that off and stop, it's going to wreak havoc on your marriage, and it's going to wreak havoc, like you said, on your ability to show up and be the parent that you want to be. And I really, really hope that this guy wakes the fuck up. And I'm going to be, this is not just about ruining her first Mother's Day. This is the accumulation of everything that has happened up to this point with mother-in-law.
It was the mulch that broke the camel's back.
There you go.
Am I the astronaut for wearing leggings on a hike? You know, I feel like wearing leggings on the hike, like that's the best time to wear them because it keeps your junk from like getting snagged on bushes and trees and stuff. You know what I mean? Like makes everything so it's just easier to move.
Are you saying for guys to wear them?
For me, yes. That's when I wear them, is when I'm hiking. So I, 21 female, went on a group hike last weekend, and now I'm low-key wondering if I was out of line. It was just a chill day trip, nothing intense. A few friends and I had been planning it for a while, and one of the girls ended up bringing her boyfriend, which I didn't know what was happening until that morning. I didn't really care, the more the merrier, right? I wore my usual workout stuff, black leggings and a cropped athletic tank, not even super cropped, just like an inch or two of stomach. It's literally what I wear to the gym or when I go running. It was hot and I wanted to be comfortable. Anyway, the whole hike, her boyfriend kept kind of hovering around me. Like he kept making random comments about how fit I looked or how he needed to start hiking more if it gets results like that. At one point, he offered to help me climb this one rocky part, and I was like, bro, I'm fine. It's not Everest. I wasn't being flirty at all, and honestly, I was just trying to keep some distance. Next day, I get this text from the girl saying that she felt like what I wore was a bit much, and that it made her uncomfortable to have me dressed like that around her boyfriend. She said I should have been more mindful and that I know how I come off. Yeah, because the problem can't be your wandering eyes boyfriend. The problem can't be him. It's gotta be all the temptations around him in the world. The world trying to tempt him and seduce him at all times. No, he's your Hannah. I told her straight up, I wasn't trying to get anyone's attention. It's just workout clothes. I didn't do anything inappropriate, and her boyfriend making weird comments is not on me. She basically said I was being defensive and then I owe her an apology. Now, a couple of people we both know are saying maybe I should have worn something more chill just to avoid the drama, but others are like, it's a hike. What did she expect? So yeah, I feel kind of weird now, and I don't know if I should have handled it differently. Am I the astronaut?
Stop blaming women for your man's wandering eyes. Stop. If his eyes are on some other woman, it's a him problem. Quit blaming woman. Like, for sake, she was wearing leggings and a sports top on a hike. And now you want an apology for what she wore, which is totally normal, by the way. Stop. Stop.
I'm gonna go.
This pisses me off so bad.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it wouldn't have mattered what she wore because he would have made comments about her looking fit no matter what. And that, again, is not it's not a you problem, OP. And to your friend, that's not a her problem, OP. Why are you with somebody who's gonna hit on other girls right in front of you? That's the real question here.
Right?
And then you're gonna make excuses for it and make the girl he was hitting on apologize to you. Like, tell me what sense does that make?
Misogyny sense. You know what's crazy is that you see women in leggings all the time and your eyes don't wander.
It's true.
And I don't yell at them for wearing leggings. It's a wild
How
thought.
dare you?
My man is here. He might see that. Cover it up.
Keep
That's it's absurd. It's absurd to police what this girl is wearing on a hike because you're insecure because you have a shitty boyfriend. Get the over yourself. Handle your insecurity.
There it is. It's the insecurity.
And dump your stupid boyfriend who can't keep his shit to himself. He was actually making her uncomfortable, and you blamed her. This is like the epitome of piss me off, stupid bullshit because it's so unfair. Sorry.
The fact that there is an expectation for women to just accept that men have no self-control, and they're supposed to manage that by hiding. Basically, I don't know. I thought we had progressed past like the caveman portion of our societal evolution, right? I thought we had made it a little bit further. Here we are, and this dude is pulling this shit off, and she, because of her insecurity, is blaming the friend.
And also the last line, I feel kind of weird now, and I don't know if I should have handled it differently. So not only did this friend's insecurity and her boyfriend's wandering eyes get blamed on OP because she wore a pair of leggings, it's also making her question what she did and how she handled it when she did nothing wrong. And that's the part that creates further insecurity in other people. That's the part where you start questioning yourself, even though you know you did nothing wrong. And like, it's just a cycle. It's an endless cycle, and it's never stopped. And enough is enough.
And for your friend specifically here, or for you, OP, because this person's not your friend, that has been mentioned several times here. But just know that this is not the first time this has happened with the two of them, and it's not going to be the last.
No.
Okay, so it's not your fault. This is not isolated to you. This is her getting fed up with that, and instead of doing what she should do and handling it maturely, she's lashing out at you, right? This is not a you problem, period. And that shit isn't going to last. It's not. Because if he was doing that on a hike right in front of her, like, okay, he has literally no self-control.
Yeah, he's a douche canoe. Why belittle another woman instead of getting rid of the asshole that you're calling your boyfriend?
Yeah. Am I the astronaut because I don't want my husband to go on a dinner date with a long-term ex? My husband, Jack, male 36, used to date Emma, female 34, for years. They broke up because Jack did not want to get married or have kids. Emma moved away, and about a month later, Jack met me, female 30. I don't look like the typical girls Jack had been dating. For example, Emma is super tall, blonde with blue eyes, and has a PhD. I'm short, 120 pounds and short. I'm a nurse, I have dark curly hair, and I'm an introvert. Apparently, she was a social butterfly. Jack has a group of friends that he's known since childhood. They're like brothers to him, but from the very beginning, they didn't like me. They still call me the rebound girl. At our wedding, during his best man speech, he joked, "We all thought rebound girls were temporary, but our brother Jack made an honest woman out of her." Cool. Everyone laughed. I didn't. They also joked that I'm just a nurse and that Jack downgraded since he has a PhD, technically postdoctoral, from a doctor to just a nurse. For my own sanity, I ignore them, and Jack still hangs out with them regularly. Jack, what are you doing? Being a jackhole. Stand up for your lady, man. Last weekend, there was a fundraising gala, and Emma was there. I saw her for the first time in person. Jack introduced me, and Emma said, "Yeah, I know who she is. The guys weren't kidding when they described her, haha." Bitch, what? Like, don't think I won't start a fight at a fundraising gala. Jack quickly changed the topic and asked how long she was in town. She said for a week, and then they ended up chatting all night, reminiscing about old times. I decided to talk to other people. This isn't getting better, is it? Later at bedtime, Jack mentioned that he should go out to dinner with Emma. I assumed he meant inviting her over, so I asked what kind of food she likes so I could make it. He said no, it would just be the two of them. I asked, like a date? And he replied, no, just two friends going to dinner. Why are you so insecure? Jeez, Jack, I don't know. Maybe it's because your friend group calls me the forever rebound girl, and maybe it's because your ex called me a troll right in front of me, and then you spent the whole night chatting it up with her. Dr. Sam. I asked him, do you miss her? Do you miss being with her? He said, I'm not going to lie, it felt great talking to her tonight. There's just something about her. I got really upset and told him he can do whatever he wants, but if he goes on this dinner date, I'm done. He thinks I'm overreacting and being insecure. So, wise people of Reddit, is this rebound girl overreacting? We do have an update. Before we get into that, let's talk about this for a moment. This is, okay. We're in feedback mode here. He is choosing to be disrespectful here because he knows something is causing you discomfort and doesn't give a shit. Instead, wants to minimize your pain so he doesn't feel bad about wanting to do this. And he's even admitted here. It's like, there's something about her. Yeah, he really missed it. He really enjoyed the time. Okay, you're married. You're married. You're choosing the path here. Like, he's choosing to end his marriage by choosing to go to this dinner. I don't think OP's overreacting at all here.
No, 100% she's not. She's insecure because he made her feel that way. And so if somebody makes you feel insecure by their actions and then scolds you for feeling insecure, that's a gaslighter, narcissist, asshole. Oh my. He is like a trifecta, because I feel like somebody that does this on purpose and knows exactly what they're doing. He knows what his friends are saying. He knows what this girl was insinuating, Emma, by talking down to her, and he made it all okay. He made it all okay. He is making his wife insecure, and he has no problem doing it. And you will not convince me that that is not a up human being.
I don't know like what positives there are in this relationship, and maybe that's like how did you guys end up married if this was the path? You know what I mean? And if they've always talked about you like that, and he never stood up for you, he like, what is your relationship like?
Right.
I don't know that. I know he's a PhD, pretty huge douche.
There you go. So there was some like missing comments. OP has deleted her account. There's 2 more updates, but there were some missing comments and context, but for the next part of the update. But we still understand the point. But at this point, she had asked him to leave, and that's
she asked
kind of
him to leave, like piss off, leave.
Yes, and so that's where we get back into the situation without that context.
Okay.
So
damn, I feel terrible for OP. Damn, just damn. Update. It's 4:45 a.m. and I did not sleep last night. I thought I'd post an update. I decided to stay awake and talk to him when he came home. When he did, I told him I could have tracked your location, shown up at the restaurant, and done so many things to get my answer, but I'd like to believe you have enough respect for me to tell me. Were you on a dinner date with your friends or Emma? He showed me pictures and said, no, it was all of us, me, my friends, and Emma. I was stupid enough to feel relieved, even feeling bad for accusing him. Then he told me to sit down because we needed to talk. He said that after seeing Emma at the gala, he couldn't stop thinking about her. He decided to take Monday and Tuesday yesterday off and spent the whole day with her. And is just now telling OP, while I assumed he was at work. He went on and on about how strong their connection was, how they couldn't stop talking, and how much he enjoyed being with her. He told me I'm a sweet woman, but he never felt that spark with me. Then why'd you marry me, you douchebag? He said that at dinner, Emma was laughing and having fun with everybody, and it felt like old times compared to me being quiet and uncomfortable around his friends. He said it's best if we go our separate ways. I asked him if they had sex, and he didn't reply. I asked again and again, but he still wouldn't answer. I was so upset and asked, why did you marry me if you're not over her? He said he thought I was the one, but these past 2 days made him realize there's no spark between us. He kept going on about how sweet I am and that I'll find somebody too. I told him to shut up. I said, Emma knew about your cancer treatments. Where was she when you needed a friend? Why didn't she ever call you back then? He went quiet. I feel stupid for ignoring all the red flags over the years and wasting 6 years of my life with him. My next step is hiring a lawyer and finding my own place. I feel so dumb right now. I'm going to contact my brother to help me. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so the cancer treatment part of this was a whole new portion. So he had her to take care of him.
Absolutely.
And that was her purpose. But why marry her if he didn't love her? And in him saying the past Emma 2 days have shown me that there's no spark between us. Okay, so there was a spark between you. You just decided you liked the spark between you and Emma better.
Right. Or he married her to, I don't know, get back at Emma.
Because he said he was never interested in being married.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his reasoning is, but I don't think that he is. I think he's an asshole of the highest degree, and I know exactly where he should be sent.
We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, here's a comment. That spark he's feeling is nostalgia, and it makes you look at things with rose-tinted glasses. Who hasn't thought about a place they went when they were younger and thought about the good times they had, only to revisit it and realize it's a dump? The thing is, he's going to realize this woman who didn't give a shit when he had cancer and who he didn't want to marry back then is still shitty. She's proved this by betting a married man because they absolutely did have sex. Once the nostalgia fades and he's confronted with reality, he'll realize that he threw out a loving, supportive partner for his idealized vision of his ex and that the reality is a lot different. Also, she gets to feel like she's winning now, but she's going to have to deal with the reality of him. Your life will get better without your cheating cock-thistle of a husband, his jackass friends, and the woman with so pathetic she needs to sleep with someone else's husband to feed her ego. Can soon-to-be ex bring guests over for sleepover if his name is on the house title? Oh, wait, this is it's hers?
That's her.
Oh, wait, what? Can soon-to-be ex bring guests for a sleepover if his name is on the house title? 18 hours later? Wait, so he wants to, what the f*** is happening?
This is why I believe that he just married her to get, like, it's some sick game to both of them. Like, that's how it feels.
He married her to torture Emma, and now is choosing Emma to torture OP.
Yeah.
And is going to just, like, dig the screws in with this step.
Yeah.
Saying he has the right to bring guests over for a sleepover because his name is on the house title.
Yep. All right, let's read it. I have not read this.
Some bitch.
Yeah.
I will see a lawyer soon. My ex and I got in a huge argument tonight. We share a house that we currently live in. He sleeps in our bedroom. I sleep in the spare room. He told me tonight that he wants his girlfriend to stay with him. Yes, at our house while she is in town. Can I legally call the police to kick her out? Or since the house is under his name too, he can bring anybody and the cops can't do anything? I suggested that he move out so he can invite whoever he wants, but he said he doesn't want to pay a mortgage for our current house and rent for a place he would be staying. That's it. That's the end of the story. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, his name is on it as well. He probably is able to bring people over. This is where, like, I get on the horn with your lawyer and try to come up with at least some kind of agreement, some kind of cohabitation agreement that covers the now until you're divorced, right?
I don't think he cares.
He doesn't care.
And I don't know if you can.
Clearly not.
I think that she was some kind of pawn in this weird game that him and Emma were playing, and she is caught up in this, and I feel so bad for someone who has no empathy, sympathy, understanding of another human being, because they just don't care.
No.
That's why I believe this was a game. He married her to get back at that, and it just feels like that. How quickly it moved, how she belittled her, how the friends treated her, like it was all a fucking game, and she was just a pawn in it. And that's how I feel about it.
Which is
crazy.
Yeah, we know where we're sending him. However, here's a thought. I would come back to this and be like, hey, buddy, either you're going to be paying rent and your portion of the mortgage, or you're going to be reimbursing me for the hotel rooms I have to stay in every time you bring a buddy over, because that's going to be on you, because it's going to be driven by your choice to do something to intentionally make me uncomfortable here. And I would talk to your lawyer ahead of time and get that game plan together. If he wants to pay for your hotel room, cool. Make it a really bougie one.
There were some thoughts that she had deleted her account once talking to an attorney, as not to have
I wouldn't doubt that.
This guy.
He's going all the way to the black hole. Cheryl, OMG, I say play Sesame Street all night at full volume. No sex with Elmo in the background, LOL. Ooh, truth.
Elmo don't want you to get there. Elmo don't want you to climax.
Okay, this happened.
Elmo thinks someone coochie smell bad. Yucky. No, Mr. Noodle, no. Mr. Noodle.
Am I the astronaut for ruining my boyfriend's perfect proposal plan because I was hangry? I, 26 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27 male, for a little over 3 years. He's great. Smart, funny, decent cook if you like everything covered in hot sauce. Everything? And just a genuinely sweet guy. We talked about marriage, so it wasn't a surprise that he was going to propose at some point. I just didn't know how or when. So here's what happened. Last week, he told me to get dressed nice but comfy and that we were going for a surprise evening. First of all, that's already suspicious because the man once told me surprise food and took me to Taco Bell. It's multiple surprises if he took you to Taco Bell. But okay, I went along with it. We ended up driving like 45 minutes out of the city to this really pretty nature trail near a lake. Mind you, it's already 6:30 p.m. I hadn't eaten since lunch, and all I had was a granola bar that I shared with our dog earlier, so I'm getting grumpy. And not cute, sassy grumpy, like, why did I leave the house if there's no food in here? Kind of grumpy. He wants to go on this long walk to the perfect spot, and I'm like, bro, I love you, but I'm about to chew on this pine cone. I start complaining, not screaming or anything, just, I'm seriously starving. Can we go get food first, then come back? He's acting weird and insists we go now, or the moment will be gone. I don't get it and say I'm not walking any further without food. He gets quiet, we leave, and end up getting burgers. Later that night, he tells me he was going to propose there, and I ruined the moment. I feel kind of bad because, yeah, I did complain a lot, but also, he planned on a full hike during dinner time and didn't bring snacks. Does he not know me? I told him maybe next time schedule a proposal while I'm not at war with my stomach. He laughed, but I can tell he's a little disappointed. Now his friends are saying I was self-centered and killed the romance. My friends say if he wanted a perfect moment, he should have fed me first. So, am I the astronaut for ruining my own proposal because I was hangry and needed fries more than a fiancé? Relevant comments. Top comment. I once had an ex tell me that I ruined his proposal plan. We were traveling by train. He was apparently planning to do it at the station. I thought we needed to catch the train. He ended up later telling me, after he did propose, that he felt like I made him and he never wanted to. Cool. The next time I was proposed to by a different man, I made us late because I declined to go in the store we were supposed to go in and said I wanted to go into a different store instead. He humored me. I was late to my own proposal. We laughed about it. He never accused me of ruining anything or messing up his plans. You can never ruin a surprise by accident because you can't ruin a surprise. What I mean by that is if you are genuinely in the dark about something and don't accommodate their surprise plans, it's okay. You can ruin the surprise element, but the moment is still there and the event or plan can still happen. You didn't know he was planning something and then messed it up on purpose. You were hangry and wanted food. Honestly, your boyfriend should know by now that you get hangry if you aren't fed. And his plan wasn't brief, a 45-minute drive followed by a hike at dinner time. OP says, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, how was I supposed to magically know I was walking into a surprise proposal while running on fumes on one granola bar? And yeah, I kind of wish he hadn't told me after. It low-key made me feel worse, and now I've missed the big moment, and it's my fault. But honestly, if he had just whipped out the ring while I was inhaling fries at the burger joint, I probably would have cried happy tears with ketchup on my face. LOL. Appreciate your comment. It makes me feel way less crazy. I'm sad that she feels crazy at all. You know what I mean? Because, like, dudes, if you're planning to do something, you got to think about food. You know what happens to your lady when she gets hangry. Is that even if she had been willing to make the hike to the perfect spot, is that the mindset you want her in when you ask her the most important question of your lives? Follow this up by how many more times likely is she to say no because she's hangry? Tater?
I will just say that hangry is a real thing. And I'm so glad that you always keep snacks on hand because you know exactly what hangry feels like. And I get it.
Hold on.
I get that we're a lot and I get that we get hangry, but
worth it.
Totally worth it. But it is, and it's like it's also. I mean, it's driven by our cycle. Like the further we're in, the more hangry we're gonna get. And so I feel like these are things that you should know. And obviously, she didn't know that it was a 45-minute drive. She didn't know that they were gonna go on a hike. She didn't know all of these things. And so I do feel like if you're gonna plan this at dinner time, you definitely should have grabbed some food on the way or something,
right.
Or like a picnic at the spot. Like if you hike, we're gonna eat when we get there. Like
yeah.
David Rose.
Exactly.
Patrick.
Schitt's Creek. This is David and Patrick.
Yes, exactly. But that kind of situation is exactly what I'm envisioning.
And David was bitching about it the whole time, but he's like, can we just get the cheese out now? You know, he didn't even bring food for this. That's part of the problem here. And also, I see the fries before fiancés and fries before guys stuff. Right. We may have to make a shirt here.
I also love that she was like, dude, if he had just asked me at the burger joint once, I was like, the moment that we're hangry and then the moment that we get food is like, it's like a whole different person. It's like you've tamed a beast. It has Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. Yeah. Like it is a real thing. And you get like all the filters go, everything's gone. Like you just need to eat. You're in survival mode. And I feel like your sugar drops, like all of that stuff. And you're in it. You're in the depths of it. And until you have food, protein, sugar, whatever in your body, you are unreasonable. And so I think it's unreasonable for his expectation to be that you ruined the surprise because you were hungry.
Yeah, pouting there was stupid.
And his friends, like, his friends. And honestly, screw your friends. Like, you two should work this out together.
Agreed. But you also have to keep in mind here, when you hear, like, his friends say this, okay, what version of the story did the friends get and from whom? You know. Yeah. So now you know exactly what he said to them. And, him again. FTG.
Linguini before lads.
Linguini before lads. There you go.
I love it.
Am I the astronaut for leaving a family barbecue when asked to help in the garden? On Thursday, I was invited to a family barbecue at my ex-wife's stepfather's house scheduled for today. I brought barbecue sausages and prepared a homemade pasta salad and potato salad. Being good weather, I dressed in summery clothes and shoes, as did my girlfriend, who was also invited. This feels awkward already. OP and girlfriend are going to ex-wife's stepfather's house for a family barbecue. When we got there, we were told that we each had to help first. Clear the patio of dog mess, my dogs were at home, and then clear a space in the garden so that my ex-wife's stepfather could put a greenhouse there next week. After stating that I wasn't dressed for yard work and had just been expecting conversation and drinks and food on the patio, I declined to help. Instantly, everyone made it clear that I wasn't wanted if I wasn't going to help. So myself and my girlfriend left and found a nice country pub for dinner instead. I've got back home now, and kids of the adults who were there are now calling me names on social media and stating that I'm scared of hard work. Did I do the right thing after being lured there under false pretenses, or should I have just stayed and potentially ruined a good set of clothes just to appease them? Here's the question that I have, ladies and gentlemen. When you left, which you had every right to do, because you were probably wearing your white suit, did you take the food you brought with you? Or did you leave it there?
Someone said, are they going to a barn raising? Oh.
Is this a thing?
And are you like poop scooping the yard while you're there? Because like, what is picking up the dog mess on the patio?
Yes. Yes.
Did the dogs throw up and you got to hose it off?
No.
Or are you poop scooping the yard?
Dude, it's Nikki. This is brilliant. This is the most brilliant type of hosting there is. It's like crowdsourcing the cleaning that hosting normally requires. You don't have to do it. Everybody who shows up, like, you draw a little piece of paper from the hat, and that's the chore you get. Oh, look at that. You got cleaning out the litter box. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, you got to mop the floor. Oh, you got scrubbing a toilet. Oh, boy. That's a big one. Who's mowing the yard? Oh, grandma's mowing the yard. Oh, good.
I kind of would hope I would get like cleaning the litter box. It's a short and easy chore.
Laundry. Oh, you get laundry.
And
Look
then I
at
can
that.
have my phone or
Look at
have my
that.
food back.
Would you take your food? I would take my food. I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
sorry. And I'll take this and we'll go pull over on the side of the road somewhere. Tell you what, we're going to pull across the street on public property here. We're going to sit here and eat our barbecue and watch all you idiots do yard work for the food that you brought. They tricked you into feeding them and doing their chores.
They're like, you know who we should invite? Your ex. He'll bring his new girlfriend and both of them will help so they can help put our greenhouse in.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, we'll just cuss him out on social media. It's fine. It's a win-win. I would have gotten my white suit ass back in that house and grabbed all the barbecue shit that I brought and carried it out to the car, and I would have sat on that car in the road, ate that barbecue, and I would have taken them saucy fingers and wiped it on my shirt like this.
On your white suit.
Just to show them I wasn't afraid of getting dirty. I just didn't want to help them.
Instead of a wet nap, you're just using the lapels. of your-
That's right. It's like, I don't even care, y'all. I don't even care. This barbecue's delicious.
Oh. You said grab the food they brought. I would have been running inside and like grabbing.
If you grabbing some other stuff, shit, get some dessert. Hurry, run.
Scoop some dirt cake. Let's go. Load up.
Gosh, darn.
Oh my gosh.
Man. Did they show up early? No, they showed up and everybody was having to do work, which apparently everybody else who was coming there, like it is known, Mina Nisa, right? Like they knew about it ahead of time. The guests, this is how they indoctrinate people into their new cult. They're like, we trick them into showing up. We make them do work. They never get fed. And then we just keep them doing work.
Keep moving the goalposts.
And if they refuse, we'll just call them crazy and terrible names on social media to cover our tracks.
I love that they, at first they like declined. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. And they're like, no, you have to.
It's not a choice. I feel like it should, at maximum should be like either you bring food or you help with a chore. I am not bringing food to your barbecue and doing chores for you. What the is this? Like, I don't understand. It's like I'm hosting just at someone else's house. This This is the most terrible hosting ever.
Oh no. Also, when you act out this stuff, it's probably like my favorite part of all the stories that you read because it's just so good.
Well, my guests are flabbered. I don't understand this at all. I would like to reenact this. I would like to get out the white suit and show up and get handed like a shovel.
Don't you have like a linen suit?
I did.
Did we get rid of the linen suit?
No, I got rid of the linen suit. I'm sorry. That was the Miami Vice suit.
Did you wear it with your wicker shoes?
I don't have wicker. I've never had wicker shoes.